Hi there, we're on the 19th tee at Morelton Golf Club. This is one of the starting tees, and as you can see, it's a pretty intimidating shot. Imagine it's a Saturday afternoon, you're teeing off, there are a lot of people around watching. First tee nerves cost a lot of people shots. So how can you get better at handling them? Well, the concept that I think is useful to think about in relation to being nervous on the golf course on the first tee is something called activation. We have a concept called the activation scale, which starts at 0 and goes all the way up to 100. If you're at 0 on the scale, it means that you're dead. So it means that when you're 0, there's not much going on in your body. As you start to move from 0, you get more alert, more awake, and as you move up to around 100, you might be anxious, nervous, pumped up. Activation, when we become nervous, starts to increase. And when it increases, we become tense, we become stiff, and it makes it more difficult for us to make a smooth golf swing. So when you are getting nervous, your activation isn't in the right place. So the first thing to think about to combat first tee nerves is to think about what number on the activation scale do I need to be at in order for me to make a great swing on that first tee. Just to put this into context, the number might be different for everybody. So Tiger Woods, who's quite an aggressive golfer, he might need to be at an 80 on the activation scale, whereas an Ernie Els, who's a bit more relaxed, he might need to be at a 50 on the activation scale. Once you've decided what number you need to be at on the activation scale, you then have to control your body to get yourself to that correct number. And the key thing to remember to control the activation scale is it's all about breathing. And one very simple breathing technique you can use is just to count how many breaths you're breathing out and how many breaths you're breathing in. So for example, if you want to speed your breathing up and increase your activation, you might breathe out for 2 counts, 1, 2, and you might breathe in for 1 count, 1. So it's 1, 2, 1. That's going to speed your breathing up. If you want to slow your breathing down to reduce your activation level, you might breathe out for 5 breaths, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then breathe in for 5 breaths, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you're doing that, just notice the tension in your shoulders reducing. So this is how you can start to practically control your activation. So again, first tee nerves, the key is to control your activation scale. So the first thing you need to do is decide what number on the activation scale you need to be at. And the second thing you need to do is really control that breathing to get your body in the best physical condition to give yourself the best chance of making the kind of swing. Activation isn't just about the first tee, you can use it in any part of your game. And if you want to shoot lower scores on the golf course, you've got to get in the habit of controlling your activation as often as possible. This will help you to shoot lower scores.